So the first one, I'm sure everyone has seen by now the news that E3 is going to be digital only event, just like it was last year, and then the year before it was flat out canceled. Is E3 dead, boys?
Yes.
Is this the final nail in the coffin?
Might as well be.
I mean, E3's had it rough. It had its time in the spotlight, but with just everyone doing their own thing nowadays, E3 would probably be better off going back to what it was originally was, and just corporate meetings and whatnot, rather than a spectacle, an audience. In my personal opinion.
Yeah, when they do the big presentations and that, I mean, a lot of times they're like a lot of time gets taken up by them trying to put on a show.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't need that. Let's just go digital with it. Hell, do a pre-recorded show like a Nintendo Direct or something.
Or Devolver Digital.
It's like, put it on there, show me the information, and let it run.
I will say it is depressing if this is the end of E3. I will say that because I personally enjoyed the shows, and it's also a depressing thing about because the last in-person event they had, 2019 was a banger.
2019 was
that was one of their best shows.
But I mean, it's had rough years. I mean, I think they better off doing digital because they have a much better chance of pulling it off and stuff like that. But I mean, it's also that price point of what, like Epic Games. Half of their show was just them trying to promote the movie of Borderlands.
Yeah, that sucked. That was boring.
And then Devolver Digital does Devolver Digital stuff, and I had no idea what was happening.
Mm-hmm. If even them going to a digital event, I'll be very curious to see how many companies actually decide to show up. I imagine Nintendo will. Nintendo usually plays pretty nice with E3, and I feel like Xbox would too, but there's no way Sony will be there.
Yeah, I figure some of the bigger ones will be there, and probably one of the more standard secondary studios. But yeah.
I mean, it's a shame. It is a shame. E3 was always such a magical time of year.
Yeah.
And it was a magical time of year. It was always a fun event to watch. It was like a 3 to 4 day event. It was super cool to check out all the different presentations throughout the day. But yeah, I feel like this could be the final nail in the coffin. And from some other people around the industry, like insiders and stuff, like I know Jason Schreier doubled down on this as well, is that from what they're hearing, E3 is pretty much really on its last limbs. Like this is pretty much it. So I will be curious to see how many studios actually decide to show up to E3. I also thought it was kind of cheeky that day after this news was breaking, Jeff Keighley put out a simple photo saying Summer Game Fest will return. I'm just like, this cheeky motherfucker.
I mean, it's things like that because, I mean, with networking and just all the platforms now, it's very easy for people like Jeff Keighley to set up their own thing and to show off things like that where other groups don't have to put as much effort into it and just leave it up to Jeff Keighley, whoever's running that, and do their thing. Or if they really want to have a special moment, people can do their own thing. Sony has their random time stints where they just do a live show. Nintendo does its thing. So, I mean, it's very easily for all the developers just do their own thing nowadays.
It is.
Well, it also kind of says something when E3 for like last year and then it was canceled the year before, but it says something when something like a Summer Games Fest or any of these shows hosted by Jeff Keighley are just like they're the better shows to watch in general. He tends to get or he, at least for the past year or two, he's getting the big announcements.
Let's not forget, he got the fucking Series X reveal.
Yeah, he gets the big reveals. He gets the big ones first, and then by the time it gets to the show, it's like their big, like usually the big keynote of the main like Microsoft show or Sony show. We've already got it.
Yeah,
like we've already seen it. It's a slightly extended trailer and maybe a little more discussion about something we saw like a couple days before.
And then maybe we get a bit more hardware specs and software.
Yeah. Like last year's Summer Game Fest, we had a pretty decent slew of announcements, and then of course he even got the Elden Ring trailer with an actual release date. Which, while none of us really give a shit about that, obviously a large amount of people around the world do. So that was a pretty big deal. The year before, I got a lot of Dragon Age 4 stuff. Got the Mass Effect reveal.
He got all the BioWare crap and all
Yeah,
the game series that have been dead.
Yeah, exactly. And then I think that the year before that is when he actually got the Series X reveal. He
Yeah.
actually got a console reveal at his Game Awards show. So, I mean, Jeff has those connections, bro.
Remember when they revealed a car at E3?
No, when was that?
I'm pretty sure that was either 2018 or 2019 with one of the Gran Turismos. They also revealed a new vehicle for the first time to the world.
I don't remember that one. I'm going to have to look up at that. But no, John, what you're saying is 100% right. I mean, with his shows, man, he gets a lot of the main stuff that we want to see. I would say really the only things that he doesn't get is Sony and Nintendo stuff because they do their own things. Like Nintendo has their Direct, which they've pretty much been doing it consistently with E3, and I'd probably expect them to do so. PlayStation's just doing their own thing completely. But like a lot of like third-party publishers, Xbox stuff, I mean, he's got a lot of announcements, and Summer Game Fest takes place before E3 anyway.
Yeah.
So it kind of hits everything that we need to hit, and it comes to E3. And I mean, like, I'm trying to remember, like, what was any like big announcements at E3 last year? I mean, the biggest one for me personally, because I was really excited for it and I enjoyed the game, was Guardians of the Galaxy. But I mean, we got the Avatar game, big question marks on that one.
Yeah.
I think wasn't it at E3 when we got like the Indiana Jones reveal that's coming from Bethesda? I think that was there.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I think that's been radio silent. I forgot. I keep forgetting that's a thing.
What's like at E3, it tends to be a lot of like their more. I mean, they keep some announcements for there, but the big thing from like a Microsoft or something like that is they tend to show off more of their small development team shows, like games during their conferences. Is what it's kind of become.
Right.
Where theirs is more for showing off, hey, this is everything we have, but a lot of our big stuff, or it's like we'll give away some of the big announcements and then keep some stuff for ourselves.
True. It'll be interesting to see if this is the actual end of E3, if this is the last E3 that we'll have, or if we'll see if it bounces back in 2023 or not.
Yeah, I can see us still having another year or two after this year of digital shows, maybe one more physical show, but yeah, at least everything after the last couple of years, it's definitely on its death throes.
What's going to be the thing to watch over these next few months is to see again who will be there, and then we will know if it's actually dead. Like if Xbox pulls out of it, it's dead.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to definitely dead.
Like
at that point.
Even if Nintendo agrees to still do it, like that one of the three main publishers, even if that is the case, if Xbox pulls out, fucking E3's dead. It's done.
At that point, E3 would just be a Nintendo Direct.
Nintendo and then whatever third parties want to be there. Maybe like Square or Ubisoft.
Yeah.
But yeah, if Xbox pulls out, it's dead, flat out. Because Xbox takes up such a large chunk of the show. Because last year was like, what, an hour and a half?
Oh yeah, no, they had a very large time slot.
Normally, it's like an hour to an hour and a half for their time slot. So if they pull out, E3 is donezo, bro.
I mean, and a lot of other third parties would go with them because they're under Xbox now. Because like usually Bethesda has a spot, so
yeah,
Xbox pulled out, so would Bethesda. So
yeah, Bethesda would go with it. So it'll be interesting to see who will be confirmed for E3 and who's going to be confirmed for Summer Game Fest. The only one that I know won't be at either one is going to be PlayStation. Ooh. They're going to do their own thing. They're completely happy doing their own thing. So, any last thoughts on the E3 stuff, boys?
Not really. Going to be an interesting summertime to see how it goes.
Rest in peace to E3.